Actually, I was on my way out when someone asked me a very, very important question. Sincerely, I didn't realize that question was important. But on my way going, I thought about the question, and the more I reflected on it, the more I realized that it was actually a question that was very pertinent to the tech industry, not just the tech industry, actually, to everyone, and most especially cybersecurity professionals, because it's something that we never really think about, which was why I decided to record this video immediately I got back. He asked me how to create an authentic personal brand as a cybersecurity professional. But then the more I started to think about it, the more I got to realize that cybersecurity is not just about the risk, it's not just about the firewalls, it's not about the hackers, it's not about the trust, the identity, and the impact. It's also about how you stand out in a field where everyone is an expert. That was why I decided that it was very important that we look at some, I'm going to use the word uncommon insights about how to build an authentic brand that sets you apart and helps you to stand out from the crowd. The first thing I'm going to advise is that as a cybersecurity professional, or let me use the word a tech professional in this instance, I'm going to advise you to, number one, leverage on your strengths. Everyone has strengths, irrespective of how you look at yourself. You might be looking at your weaknesses, you might be looking at what you think might be your opportunities, but the truth is you've got your strengths. And sincerely, I'm going to advise you, you have something that no other person has. So it is important to always leverage on that. The second thing I think is very important is that you need to identify your niche and ensure you are great at it. Yes, it is important that you understand different specializations as well as different aspects, but I believe as a cybersecurity professional, you need to be what is called a T-shaped professional. You need to be able to go wide before you go deep. What that means is, yes, I need you to understand different aspects of as well as specializations, but it is also much more important that you gain depth in that niche or specialization that you believe you want to focus on. For you to be able to specialize, it's also important that you stay updated. Cybersecurity is a field that evolves per second. It's a field that constantly evolves. So you don't want someone talking about something that happened yesterday and you're looking like a novice when it's supposed to be your niche. So believe me, you need to stay updated. One thing that is extremely important as well is that you must genuinely care about helping people. So many of us are so focused on the money when it comes to a career like cybersecurity, but you need to understand that it's about the impact that you want to create in the society, in your community. If you are not focused on that impact, it's going to be very hard to be authentic or to present your real self. Then I also want you to understand and be able to balance technical as well as layman communication. One of the biggest mistakes we make as cybersecurity professionals is that we keep speaking in, I'll use the word professional jargon, and unfortunately you lose a lot of people. We believe that the higher people are, the more they should actually understand your language. But I can tell you from experience that the higher they are on the career ladder, the more they get lost when you're speaking. So if you want to be able to carry people along and ensure that people feel you, they believe in you, and they most importantly trust you, you need to be able to speak their language, which is actually layman communication, even if you are still going to be explaining it in technical terms. The thing I want you to do is let people know you. You need to develop a signature style. That signature style means that it needs to speak to your professional life. It needs to speak to your personal life. Yeah, so many of us don't like speaking or sharing so much about our personal life. But the truth is, people want to know the real you. For those that know the real me, they know that I can be very playful when I want to, but I am very serious when it comes to my professional life, and even in a lot of instances. I think one of the things my kids would tell you is that I'm very principled. But that's not just it. You need people to know not just you professionally, but also personally. And most importantly, you want people to see the human behind the shield. What that means is that you need to start showcasing the lessons around what you are learning when you are working. As a cybersecurity professional, people want to see you at your job. Yes, one of the biggest, I'm going to say, the nuances or challenges that comes with the profession like cybersecurity is that there is so little that you can reveal for privacy reasons, for security reasons, and most importantly, because of the contracts that you've signed. But at the same time, you want to be able to allow people to learn from you. People don't just want to learn from you personally. They also want to learn what you have learned by working on your own job as well. You need to create a consistent identity. You need to be a consistent person. I think in my language, my kids will say, you are like weather. You change depending on who you are. But the truth of the matter is you need to be consistent. People don't want to see someone with integrity 1 second and the next minute they are finding someone that they cannot believe in or trust in. So your identity needs to be consistent. What that means in essence is that when it comes to your visual identity, it needs to be consistent. The way you look, the way you talk, the way you speak, the way you present yourself needs to be consistent with people. Also come to understand that a consistent identity will not only talk about your skin color or about your hair color or about your person, but in a lot of instances, it can also talk about how people perceive you, how people see you. Are you the kind of person that is approachable? Are you the kind of person that people believe in? Are you the kind of person that people trust? Your identity needs to stay consistent. Also want you to be transparent about your growth. It's very important. One of the biggest lessons I have learned in my life is never to undermine anyone, irrespective of their age, irrespective of their look, irrespective of who they are. Because even from my 4-year-old nephew, I still learn. Everyone wants to see you growing. And I have also realized that the person I was yesterday is not the person I am today. The person I was last year is not the person I am this year. I am growing in age, but not only in age, I am growing in wisdom. I am growing professionally. Especially when it comes to your professional life, people want to see you grow. At the same time, I need you to develop a personal mission statement. It's very important. When we're talking about a personal mission statement, we are talking about your why. Why do you do what you do? People will only believe in you when they know why you do what you do. One of the biggest reasons I decided to go into coaching was because for a very long period of time, I found out that even though I was growing in my career, like I always tell people, I did make a lot of mistakes along my journey. I know some of the things I have done over the last 24 years, some mistakes I made and I discovered on my own. There are things I would have overcome in 3 months, 6 months, or even in a day if I had someone to guide and direct me. And that is one of the reasons why I do what I do. One of the reasons I decided to become a consultant was because over the years, I have discovered that when it comes to your job, I have worked in different industries, different organizations, and I have found out that a lot of cybersecurity professionals don't have a voice. People don't listen to you because they are paying you. They want you to do what they believe should be done, not necessarily what they believe you know. But as a consultant, I have also come to understand that people only bring you in when they have problems. And so no matter what you're saying, they will not only pay for that service, they will certainly listen to you. And that is why I am a cybersecurity transformation consultant, and at the same time, I help cybersecurity leaders. I see a lot of cybersecurity leaders struggling. That's my why. So my personal mission is to be able to help cybersecurity leaders accelerate their careers. Like I said, I know what it took me to become a cybersecurity leader. I know what it took me. So those are some of the things I try to help cybersecurity leaders overcome. And that's why I tell them I want them to be able to accelerate their careers. Then most importantly, which for me is the last one, importantly, you need to craft an elevator speech. In fact, a compelling elevator. I'm not going to call it an elevator speech. I'm going to call it an elevator pitch that specifically tells people who you are, why you do what you do, and what you do in 2 minutes. You need to be able to show everyone what you do, who you are. And when I'm talking about who you are, I'm not talking about your name. I'm not talking about your skin color. I'm not talking about where you're from. Neither am I talking about the way you talk, the way you speak. No. Who are you on your professional ground, on your personal ground? That is what is referred to as a personal brand. Authenticity is about staying true to your values while creating touch points that resonates with others. It's not about being seen. It is about being remembered as someone who protects with purpose. I'll see you in the